couple seconds here.
Who is that, Bolt? Who's barking? Who is that?
Well, hello again, Facebook. I'm Eric.
Hi, I'm Katie.
That's Bolt.
Where is he?
He's got a couple of loud friends across the fence here that apparently he has now given up on. And we have not given up on this. Because I'm going to be honest, I was slightly disappointed with the way this turned out earlier. This is our, what do you call it? Oobleck?
Oobleck.
Which is what?
Non-Newtonian fluid.
Non-Newtonian fluid. So we've made this gigantic batch of this, and all this is a whole bunch of cornstarch. We put in about 20 boxes. Each box was about a pound. And then we filled this with water. When we did this earlier, we put in a little bit too much water out of this, unfortunately, so we had to let some of it evaporate. And now here we are. So, Katie, as we're getting ready to demonstrate this, tell the good folks here on Facebook just what the heck this is going to do.
Okay, so when you're putting pressure on it, it's a solid. It's called a non-Newtonian fluid. And when you're putting hard pressure on it, it is a solid. It acts as a solid.
Can we do an example of that?
Go ahead and hit the fluid.
All right, so what Katie is telling you here, if we apply force or stress to this non-Newtonian fluid, it's going to behave as a solid. Nothing. No liquid, no nothing. Now what happens if we eliminate the stress and we
It
just
turns
go
to a
really
liquid.
slowly? All of a sudden, it is a liquid. And there goes the hand. This is the hardest part now, is getting this back out.
And all this is cornstarch and water. And it is 2 parts cornstarch. We messed it up a little bit earlier. We had a little too much water.
Right, I got to be slow to get it out of here too,
Here it comes.
or it's going to turn into a solid on me, and I'm going to look like a mummy. All right, hands coming back out. It's got to be slow, slow, slow. I can even feel it. It's creating almost this suction, this vacuum. So
Still a liquid.
What is a non-Newtonian fluid? Most every liquid that you and I deal with in everyday life, water basically is what a lot of this is, it behaves like water no matter what. If we're swimming in it, if we're drinking it, if it's not moving, it behaves like water. This stuff does the complete opposite. I know, you wish this was a whole thing of water, don't you? So, what I'm going to try my best to do here is I'm going to take a giant chunk of this. Here we go. Giant chunk, and I'm applying force to it. So you see with force, this is a solid. I can make it, now watch this, no more force. And it is melting in my hands. Turning right back to dripping water. And I will be honest with you, it is the weirdest feeling in the world. I'll get a little smaller batch of this here. This is almost like a perfect snowball too, by the way.
It is,
So you see, and look,
it's like a rock.
I can break it up and it turns powdery. I mean, this is literally a solid when you are applying force. And then again, ready? Melt away. Gooey, gooey, back to solid.
I think the most
Back to gooey.
obvious is when you hit it, that it does nothing. No matter how hard you
Nothing.
hit.
You want to see if I can walk on this?
That's what I was hoping you would do.
All right, hold on.
Bolt said he'll walk on it.
Some of this off here. Because I feel like if we put enough pressure on it, we're going to end up where I could take a step and not sink in. All right, so let's do this first.
All right, I'm going to get it flat.
Let me not put a ton of force on it.
Well, you're going to get your foot stuck.
So
You might want to do the
We're
force.
going to cement this. Hold on, ready? Let's see what happens if I just gently
We're going to what it?
cement it. Not cement. So you see, it's like a gooey...
I think you should have done the step hard first.
That part. All right.
So you're stuck.
No, I'm good. I can get it out. Barely. All right. That's flattering.
That's
Some
so
kind
cute.
of a toenail fungus apparently has developed. All right, you ready?
All right.
So now we're going to do a quick... I'm going to try to hop step on it. Ready? Oh,
And you got so
weird.
much grass in
That's
it.
so strange.
And you don't go in. Bolt thinks you're playing.
Nothing. It's like really hard jello when I do that. You want to do this? Is that what this is?
But if you were to do it slow, you sink right in. But as long as you go fast and hard, You're not going anywhere.
All right, Katie, so recommendations here. You've got mom and dad watching and the kids want to make this at home. What's the grocery list here?
All right, Johnny's asking, how much do you mix? So we did a exorbitant amount. We did 10 boxes? It was 10 boxes of cornstarch. Cost about $20. I mean, cornstarch is very cheap per box. You don't need this much. We did an excessive amount. All you need to make sure is it's 2 parts cornstarch to 1 part water. You could even do it with a small amount, like 1 cup of cornstarch to half a cup of water. Bolt likes it too.
$20, right?
Yeah,
We did all of this for $20, but
and again, you don't have to do this much. It's just as fun with a small cup of it.
well, we tested it that way.
We
just
did.
bought that one little box. But understand, so there's a few tricks of the trade here. Look at my hands.
Oh, there goes Bolt.
You don't want to be doing this inside.
Yeah, there's a perfect combination of water to cornstarch. Earlier, we just tried to wing it. I don't recommend that.
We put a little bit too much water in this, and there is going to be a sweet spot with time here. So when we had too much water in this earlier, it was what, 8 hours ago?
It was, but it dried on itself. So tomorrow,
Yeah, so water will evaporate.
well, there's a lot here, but eventually this will just be cornstarch again.
Look at that.
That's what's neat about it, is you can kind of set it to the side and play with it again later.
So if I do this, you see how solid everything is? It's almost like powdery.
And Carolyn says, I'm trying to imagine what that cornstarch does in our insides. That's a good question after seeing this.
It's a great point. I wonder if maybe some of the stomach acids maybe break some of that down.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I hope
Otherwise,
so.
That's a great question. See that?
But it is a lot of fun, and it's such a good science experiment for the kiddos. Hey, even for adults, we're out here having fun.
And you and I talked about this, we've been trying to find these little weather workshops, as we've been calling them, and we debated, is this one really weather related? No, it's not. I don't think so. But this is really neat.
And I would recommend it in a heartbeat for the kids. I mean, look at this kid.
I've got an 11 o'clock newscast here to do in a little bit, and
He's
I'm
going
not
to be
gonna do it. I'm
covered
gonna be
in
out
white
here.
powder. And I would suggest not wearing black when you do this.
Yeah.
I learned this lesson earlier.
Man, this is so strange.
Here
We
go.
got to think of maybe some other cool things that you can do with this to test it.
Then you watch it.
Build a snowman out of this stuff.
It won't last long.
Non-Newtonian fluid.
He'll be like that commercial. What was that commercial with the snowman? Was it Campbell's soup where he melted?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, it brings back memories.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just trying to think out loud here. If I made like a snowball out of this and then threw it against the fence,
I wouldn't.
what happens?
Let's not try that.
Hypothetically.
Oh, Miss Carolyn, that was my brother's preschool teacher.
Who's that?
I know Miss Carolyn. I didn't recognize the name when I said it earlier. She's the one who asked about what it was doing to our insides. That was a good point.
I can do it this way, Katie. Give it a little.
Oh, I missed it. You're going to have
All right, let's try it again. I was wondering if it was going to shatter into a powder, but
to. That's actually very satisfying, though, when it
Isn't
melts
it?
into it. Yeah.
could we do like a YouTube channel just of Oobleck?
Of just Oobleck.
Yeah.
Of stuff that's in it.
Ready?
Bolt is like, what's happening?
He's fascinated by this.
I don't think he's the only one that's fascinated by this.
What you think? What is that? What is that?
Oh, he's right here, David. He's enjoying the action, and he's got a little friend across the fence.
I think the friend wants in on this
Yeah,
too.
he does.
You can see him
Yeah.
racing back and forth through the feds. So clean and simple, Katie. Well, not clean.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
simple.
sure about clean. Look at the ground.
Yeah, we got some cleaning.
But
up to
again,
do.
you don't have to do 10 boxes like we did, right,
yes,
Bolt?
you do.
Oh.
At least 10.
Here we go.
Otherwise, you can't do this.
But I'm telling you, it looks messy, and maybe it is a little messy. Again, maybe a little messy, but it is so much fun,
It's a
right?
lot. Can I get a hug real quick?
No,
Let's
no,
get a
thanks.
quick hug.
No, thanks.
Real
I'm going to end
fast.
the video.
No, come here.
Okay.
All right, come on. Give me a quick hug.
No. Okay. You can have your
You can
camera.
End, you can end your video so I can give you a quick hug.
No, Bolt. Get him. All right. Thanks, everyone.
See you guys.
He doesn't know I'm still recording. Bolt, did you have fun?